Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty and it is SCT Sampler Kit unboxing time. I tell you, the days seem to be just flying by and it's hard to believe that it's time to do another unboxing because I barely touched my last kit, but here we are. Here's my new package in the mail for the month of September and I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I will open up this package to see what kind of goodies we have, and our theme word this time around is enjoy. And if you are not familiar with these kits, this year SCT is offering a die cut word and shadow layer that match our theme word. So we've got our enjoy die and our enjoy shadow layer. So I'm going to go ahead and set those over there. And on the back side of our card, we have a list of the manufacturers that are included. Usually there's two, and that is true this time around. Let's start off with these Bo Bunny products because our reusable item this time is a stamp set, and that is from the Bo Bunny Beautiful Things collection, I believe it is called. I will put that up on the screen if I am wrong. Now, I did have to pause the video to kind of separate the collections out. I thought I could do it by sight, but I was having some challenges, and later on you'll see that even after this I didn't get everything. So we have from the Bo Bunny line these beautiful enamel dots that have some sparkle to them, some glittery embedded in them. And I already passed by the clear sticker sheet, so that has a mixed media vibe, as do some of these papers. So we will go through the papers and I will flip through them, front sides and back sides. And you can see that this collection does have some of that mixed media vibe going on. So I find it very pretty and for me very usable. Often the B-sides are what draw my attention, but here I really like these hearts. Those are super pretty. And that side is a very, very subtle mixed media texture, but it's kind of tone on tone with the navies. So that was the Bo Bunny collection, or at least most of the Bo Bunny collection. But as I'm starting to sort these other pieces, I realized that bird was the same bird from the piece of paper on the Bo Bunny. So I realized I didn't get all of the bits separated out. I thought all the ephemera was from the Simple Stories collection. And here I am checking my card to see where I went wrong. And I figure out that I definitely missed some. So I'm a little more careful as I sort these pieces out, and the Simple Stories is definitely a travel collection kit, so it's a little easier. Anything travel related is definitely Simple Stories, and that mixed media vibe definitely goes over the Bo Bunny side, so that helps me separate things out. So back to the Simple Stories, we do have those die cut pieces. This is a sticker sheet, and I passed by a foam phrase sticker sheet as well. We have a smaller cut apart sheet and then some tag cut apart sheets, and then six 6x6 pattern paper samples in here as well. And we'll take a look at the fronts and back sides of all of those. I really like the little plus symbols in the multicolors of the collection. That's a little license plate that has some fun phrases on it. And I am so in love with the map prints in this collection this time around. In fact, I ordered several sheets of the map prints all by themselves. I have that striped piece of paper, and since it is cut down from a larger 12 by 12, I am sure that those stripes probably extend to the whole 12 by 12 in more colors than just what you see there. So that is the collection that we have for our kit this month. And whenever I unbox a kit, I always do a project. So let's go ahead and get started with that. The first thing I do is sort through all these bits and pieces and try and figure out what could work for the project that I've got in mind. And I don't have my photos out yet, but we just got back from a beach trip and I know I want to go ahead and start capturing some of those memories. So I printed my photos at 3x4 and we were doing some sightseeing on this particular day, and we went down to some volcanic rocks along the Oregon coast and watched the water just splash and do some fun things through these volcanic rock formations. And so I'm going to use mostly the Simple Stories collection for these. I had this idea that I would start with a central 6x6 piece of paper and expand it all around the edges with the stripes, because I could cut that down and get kind of equal pieces all the way around, but then I mathed wrong and I cut my stripes wrong. So I just have to piece those little strips together down there at the bottom. And I'm going to overlap that with my photo a little bit so that piece where I hooked it back together will be less noticeable. And I turn to my title, which I'm going to use that die word on a nice dark print. And I'm trying to figure out if I want a shadow and what color shadow might I want. And I just love that polka dot print so much that I want to go ahead and use that. And that helps bring in a little bit larger color palette, because most of the palette that I've got on the page right now is navy, light blue, and that golden yellow. So that little print adds a little pop of color here that's going to let me do some more color adding later. I am mounting up my title, which says enjoy, and then the foam phrase from the Simple Stories collection says sightseeing. So I'm going to put those two together, and that will be my title. And in the meantime, I am building that base to my page up with these pieces all around, and that is where I fixed my boo-boo there. I do want to pop up my photos onto some foam tape, and wherever that bottom photo overlaps, I have to be sure not to put foam there, because otherwise it'll be double popped up in that corner. As I start putting these down, I realize, oh yeah, I wanted to do some stamping in those corner zones that the outer edges of pattern paper have created. So I pull out the stamp set and I start prepping the stamps. If you are new to stamping, you always have to kind of wipe down your brand new stamps, because they have residue on them from the manufacturing process, and you won't get as clean of a stamped image unless you clean them off first. So I pulled out some inks in a pink, a dusty golden yellow, a midnight, and those are all from Concord and 9th. And then I have kind of a teal color from Gina K. And I'm going to use these stamps to kind of layer up some mixed media bits. So I start with a big floral stamp in pink. I add, there's kind of a postage stamp, not a postage stamp, like a postal label, and then some butterflies. So I'm just adding layers of kind of this mixed media stamping to the background. And I should have done this before I adhered my paper down, so you can see that I've had to peel those up a little bit and add my layers there. I am sure to kind of stamp off the edge of the page a little bit, because that helps it feel more organic. And I'm mixing and matching different colors. I'm saving the darkest color for the smallest stamp, because that heavy color will draw the eye more, but a smaller size will draw the eye less. So that adds a little bit of balance when I'm doing the stamping. And I am mixing and matching different areas of this stamp set. There's a couple of different background stamps, like paint swooshes and so on and so forth. So I am overlaying those background kind of stamp sets with imagery, and that builds up that mixed media layer in the background. So I really like the tags from the cut apart sheet, so I am going to tuck those around my photos to kind of create a border going all the way around my photos. I will cut bits and pieces apart and kind of stretch them across the page at times in order to help carry parts and pieces around the layout for some consistency. I did go ahead and punch the holes in those tags, and I pulled out some twine from my stash to add to those tags. You notice I am hanging some things off the edge of the page, which I will trim off later. And again, that gives it more of an organic feel when you're not stopping harshly at an edge. And then it's just a matter of adding a few more stickers here and there to kind of build up clusters. And once I have all of my twine in place, I will journal all the way around the edge. Now, oftentimes I will just draw a doodly line to give my layout a border, but journaling as that border is another technique that I use on these types of layouts. And then I add the date stamp, a few enamel dots, and I'm going to call it good at that point. I did pull out some more things and start thinking, but I thought, no, the layout's already gotten busy enough, so I am going to call it there. We will take a few close-up pictures on the way out, and I will say thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed seeing the unboxing and a project that I made right away from all of these pieces in this kit. And all the information for these kits, as well as the product lines available from scrapbook.com, are in my links if you're interested in any of that. I will be back soon with another video. Until then, have an artful day.